So if you are on this like, all right, like I want to get it together, I want to change up my habits, I want to change up the way I think, if you are recognizing and being a little bit self-aware that you might be a pretty negative person, or just feeling like your situation or your life could be better and you just don't know where the fuck to start or anything like that, I'm gonna give you the tea. So far, the books that I have and the books that I've read honestly have all pretty much helped me so much. And yeah, so like let's just get down to the chase. Let's just get straight to the chase, not down to the chase. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this book, You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. I have pretty much read this book like 5 times already. I do have it in my Audible account as well, because when I first started this journey, I was not a reader. I just was not. So I decided to listen to like books and everything. And then when I felt like it was time for me to read, and when I felt like, okay, I'm ready to take my journey to like another level and actually like hold a book, I decided to buy the book. Every time I read it, I always get something new out of it, especially because like, you know, every year and like we have so many different seasons in our lives, and every year we go through something different, and some of it may be good, some of it might be bad, or some of it you're just kind of like a little lost. And depending on which chapter you're reading in this book, you can get a lot out of it. The main thing that I got out of this book when I first read it is self-love, how to kind of love yourself. The writing style in this book is also very like your friend is talking to you, as opposed to like reading a PhD student or a doctorate or something like that. I think this should be like the #1 book for like almost every single girl to read, especially if you have a hard time with self-acceptance and self-love. Like literally, get yourself this book. Okay, so the next book is Girl Stop Apologizing by Rachel Hollis. Now I know that there's like a lot of stuff going on with Rachel Hollis and stuff, but I don't really know what the drama is, and I don't really care, because this is the whole, this is part of this journey, like worrying about yourself, worrying about the things that matter. And I'm not overly consuming celebrity content. I love this book because along with like self-awareness and self-acceptance, I feel like this really helped me with literally, girls, stop apologizing for like feeling embarrassed for who you are or not embracing who you are. We all have our unique personalities, and I feel like a lot of the times we tend to hide our inner personalities, our quirkiness and all of that, because we don't know how other people are going to perceive it and accept it. I do remember that this being really tailored with like for moms. Obviously I'm not a mom, but I still was able to gain a lot of perspective on it, because she did talk about like her single life, her like young self, her 18-year-old self, and I feel like I was able to reflect on it so much. So I really recommend this one as well. Also, I love this book. It's the Unfuck Yourself by Gary John Bishop. I love this book because if you are trying to make a transition in your life, or if you're trying to do something that you haven't had the ability or the courage to do, this talks about that. This talks about how to like unleash who you are, go after the things that you want to do, and if you're willing to go after them, like how bad do you want something that you're willing to actually take action. So I love this, and then it literally says it right at the front, get out of your head and into your life. So honestly, I love this book. I started reading it earlier in the year and I got halfway through because I feel like I needed that inspiration again, and I just like highly recommend it. I also love that You Are a Badass at Making Money. So many of us have a bad relationship with money. You know, and sometimes we don't recognize that some of us may have a bad relationship with money. It really all has to do with like how we grew up, the way our parents perceived money, the way our parents talked about money, our surroundings. Like there's so many factors that ties into, you know, having a bad relationship with money. You can actually be from a wealthy family and still have a bad relationship with money. This book just puts so much perspective into bettering your relationship with money. It like just helps you with affirmations and just like understanding the tabooness around money sometimes, and the way we grew up understanding how money works and is. If you just feel like you don't have the best relationship with money and it can just improve, get this book. It is so good. Then we have the other one. Honestly, I love Jen Sincero. No, I did not buy these books on purpose. I've been having these books literally for like over 2 years now. And I picked this one up, I remember at the airport one time, just because I saw this. It's You Are a Badass Every Day. And it's not really like these two books where it's like you're kind of just like reading on and on and on and on. The book is honestly meant for like if you're having a bad day and you feel like you just need some inspiration. This book is meant for you to just like open it on like whatever page and read whatever sentence or quote is on it, so that it can just give you that booster that you need. I actually leave this book by my bed, and sometimes I do read it at night whenever I just like want to fall asleep, and like I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking too much or I'm like getting a little bit of negative thoughts kicking in. I pick up this book, just open it, and then get, you know, see whatever inspiration Jen Sincero is going to give me. This book is a little bit more of a business book. And it's called 10 Skills for Effective Business Communication. It really helps you just kind of understand how to have a two-way conversation with anybody, you know, depending on what the conversation is, depending on like what you're trying to say, or when you're listening to someone, when you're hearing someone, are you actually listening or are you just hearing? Obviously, like this will be very helpful in the workforce too, because I feel like sometimes I feel like at work, people don't really fully understand that a lot of people have different personalities and everybody grew up so differently. So we're all not going to understand things exactly the way someone else understands things. And I feel like este libro is very good for that. Other personal development books that I just really love, and they're more about like journaling. So I've talked about these two books before, but let me go into a little bit more depth about them. So the 6-Minute Diary, I feel like right now there's like a huge movement on the 5-Minute Diary. And so I bought this like probably like 2.5 years ago. And what I like about it is that like the first, let me show you. So this much of the book, this is all understanding the way the mind works. Understanding the subconscious mind versus the conscious mind, and the difference, what the difference is, like understanding how and when each conscious mind takes into effect whenever you are having a conversation, or whenever you react to something, or the way you think about something. It's honestly so interesting. And then what I like about it is that it teaches you how to reframe your thoughts and how to reframe your mindset into like just being more positive and being grateful for the small things in life, or just being grateful, period. Because you may not like your job right now, but at the end of the day, your job pays your bills. And even though you're like, oh my god, my job is only so I can pay your bills, but let that sink in for a moment. Be grateful that your job pays your bills and you're able to live where you live and you're not out on the street. Because when you think about it, there's other people that are literally sleeping on the street. And I know that's like, oh, like whatever, it's easy for you to say or anything like that. And it's not easy for me to say. I do feel like it took a lot of practice and time for me to like be aware of things like this, and be aware that like, wow, I guess I was complaining about this for so long but never looked at it in this perspective. So this, love it. And then along with this book, I like it because if you are trying to manifest anything in your life, if you have certain goals, if you are just trying to do something, if you're trying to be a better person or a better version of you, honestly, I love this book for that, because it makes you journal what you want. So like I've pretty much journaled like a lot of it already. So this is by Rachel Hollis again, and I don't really know if they're still selling these, because I remember trying to find it the other day on Target and it wasn't there. This method and this like whole way of like manifesting or just like journaling, I think is absolutely amazing. So you have to write down things that you're grateful for. You have to write down your 10 dreams that you want. And the whole point of that is to just like start your day, or just reframing your thoughts little by little, slowly and slowly. Like all of this just doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a year. It doesn't happen in 3 months. This is all practice. Anything that you're doing, like when you're working out, you don't just work out for 1 week and think that you're gonna get results instantly. This is literally exercise for your mind. It's exercise for your brain. So if you really want this to work, if you really are trying to change yourself to be a better person, to be more happy, to be more positive, to just like appreciate the small things in life, to just like live a better quality life, then you have to keep improving, and you have to keep reading, and you have to keep practicing, even on the days that you're feeling so down, that you're feeling so negative. It's like those are the times you have to fight your brain even harder. Like, yes, you gotta fight this brain of ours, because again, like, our brains are here, well, obviously so we can think, but our brains protect us whenever it is feeling fear, whenever it feels like something is going to attack us. And it doesn't have to be physically, but just like an emotional attack, our brain, boom, it puts up its shield. So the other thing that I just want to quickly touch on, when I first, like I said earlier in the video, when I first started my personal development journey and started reading like self-development books and stuff, I started through Audible because, like I said, I was never really a reader, like literally ever. I decided, let me listen to books. And yeah, so the very first one that I did, Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis. So that is actually the first book that Rachel Hollis came out with. And then she came out with Girl Stop Apologizing. So I did listen to Girl Wash Your Face. I just remember being very inspired, and I loved her her writing style and the way she narrated, I don't know how to say that word, her own book. So then I decided to buy this one and also love this one as well. And then I also did buy hashtag Girl Boss. Let me show you guys the picture. Oops. Girl Boss. So she is actually the owner of Nasty Gal. Nasty Gal is like a huge, like super hip and urban, trendy, vintage website. I feel like I got this book because I wanted some inspiration about going after the things that I want to go after for my own like personal growth. And it's so good. Honestly, it's so good. She talks about her story. She talks about like what her brand and how she started and the struggles. And I don't know. Honestly, like it's just very inspiring. And yeah, so that one I also highly recommend. The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. And honestly, this book is life-changing. Like literally amazing. It just really talks, I don't know, I just can't explain it. It just talks about how she just goes so in depth about like real life scenarios with people that she helped, and then they're so relatable, like all of the scenarios, and then you listen to like how they were able to change their lives, and then you're like, okay, well, like if they were able to do it, why can't I? You put in the, you know, the practices that Mel Robbins talks about, which is ultimately the 5-second rule. So love that. Let me see what else. And I also, So Much I Want to Tell You by Anna Akana. And she is actually a YouTuber, and this book was recommended by Catherine Manning. I did watch one of her recent videos, and then she did talk about that book. And hold on, let me show you guys the picture of it. The main thing about this book is that she talks about trauma that happened in her life very early on and decided to share it with the world and with her viewers, her subscribers, her followers. And it's just so impactful how you can go through something in your life and overcome it and find your way to release that will allow you to heal, and etc. I really hope this video was helpful. I really hope that you took something out of it. I hope that like the small little descriptions that I gave you about each and every book can give you some inspiration about like which book you want to try out, purchase for yourself, or go to the library and see if you can rent it. I will link all of them down below, so you can just like, I don't know, if any of them like really like sparks your interest, and you have the link right at the bottom as well. I hope this video was helpful. I'm just honestly so passionate about, I don't want to say books, but about self-growth, because I feel like right now you might feel like it's impossible to change who you are as a person, because you're like, this is who I am and that's it. And it's like, yeah, that is who you are and that's it. But there is always room for improvement, and you can improve who you are and just like your quality of life and stuff. Because if you're watching this video, clearly it means that you can improve in some shape or form in whatever area in life. I will see you guys in my next video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.